We all thought it would happen again. That a woman would make the main event final table. We just didn't know who would do it, or when she would do it, or how she would do it. Leo Margets gave us all the answers.
Oh man, 67 million out there.
In prayer is Veloso with ace-king here. Margets with the hooks.
Wow.
Oh, it is the third club. Fourth for Margets.
That is, I think, the most incredible moment of my life.
Now, Leo carries the pressure of the moment, plus the weight of so many who came before her, as she plays the biggest final table of her life. Her task is not easy. The grinder is a legend. Kenny Hallaert is a pro's pro. Adam Hendrix is nearly flawless. And John Wasnock is an amateur with no fear. But the poker world has been waiting for this night for 30 years. And now that Leo Margets is at the final table, there's only one question left to ask. Can she win it?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final table of the 2025 World Series of Poker main event. We're in level number 39. There's 66 minutes, 41 seconds remaining at the current level, 800,000, 1.6 million, with a 1.6 million big blind ante. Kenny Hallaert has the button in seat number 2. I know you guys are ready, so sit back, strap in, and get ready for the greatest final table of all time. And let's shuffle up and deal.
And with that, the World Series of Poker main event final table is underway, and Nick, it plays host to an electric atmosphere.
Recall, dare I say, the Thunderdome being this energetic, if you will, in quite some time.
Daehyung Lee out of South Korea. Good one to kick things off with the ace-queen. Leo Margets, eyes of the poker world on her. But not this hand. Hallaert with the queen jack on the button.
Expecting very tight, snug play early on.
Unless your name is Dunaway or Mizrachi.
Unless your name, yeah, those two in particular, even Waz, the lone amateur.
He'll mix it up.
This final table. Really unpredictable.
We saw Lee has a large contingent that seems to have come in today from Korea.
It didn't have a big rail
No.
throughout these last couple days.
That's a quick flight.
And he had been wearing a mask. He's taken his mask off. He's talked about wanting to grow the game in Korea.
The clock.
The clock?
It's not running. The clock is not running.
Waz will defend with 2 5s. 5 in the window. Queen, Jack 5. Trouble brews immediately for Lee.
Lee only started the hand right around 20 bigs. This money might just get in.
What an absolute disaster for Lee. And Waz poised to take a somewhat commanding chip lead right off the bat.
See if he decides to get very aggressive, put in a check raise on this type of texture. Again, remember, Lee's likely opening a premium hand. We can see it's ace-queen.
The raise is coming in.
Does want to get more in the middle. Lines up the check raise to 6.5 million. An immediate look back at the cards by Lee. And he jams, and here we go!
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hand number 1 at the final table has 72 million in the middle.
Set versus top pair.
Set of fives, ace queen. Set of fives. Ace queen and riff.
Unreal.
Everybody else in line for a $250,000 pay jump. Lee's dead to runner.
Ace queen is all in.
Queen, jack 5, ace of hell.
10 or a king are really his best cards. Either way, he's got to go perfect.
Will you have any hope at all? That 10 is there on the turn. You hear that rail we mentioned. Chanting for Lee's only out. Has to be a king or Lee's day is done. Right off the bat. It's paint, but it's a jack. And Daehyung Lee exits this final table in 9th place for $1 million.
See the disappointment, devastation on his face. Just one hand. Korean contingency, though. Look at these folks. They're not disappointed. They're pumped for their guy.
Respect that. What a run by Lee.
14
big hand
bigs
there.
on the button.
Yeah, Minghini.
It's in for the min. Hallaert with 2 4s.
He might just send it.
We could see it.
If he thinks that Minghini has raise folds on the button. Yeah, max pressure. Here we go.
Do see it, and here we go. Minghini all into that wrist.
Ace queen for the short stack, 4s for the covering stack.
With the ace queen suited against 2 4s.
We want 4s to win.
Ace queen 4s. Ready? Als vrouw.
Well, that group behind Jarod will go absolutely nuts if he wins this flip.
I think he's got a bigger rail here than Mizrachi does Minghini.
So if Hallaert loses, he stacks pretty hurt.
Scott Stewart in the background.
Not the worst. 2 regs going in.
His girlfriend Elise on the rail as well. Comes 6-3 deuce with 1 diamond. So far, so good for Hallaert.
There's also just a couple eliminators. 4 or 5. You'd have, I guess, the straight outs.
Diamonds. Diamonds.
Turn is the 8 of hearts. That limits Minghini to 6 outs. 3 of them are live, as you see on the top of your screen.
In a few hours, they're going to mix it up by accident after they're drinking.
Needs an ace or a queen to avoid elimination in 8th. And the river is a 10. And that does it for Jarod Minghini. Just kind of hung around throughout these last couple days and most certainly earned himself $1.25 million.
Play PokerGO. It's where the action never stops. Now you can chase your share of $1 million in gold every single hour. Jump into free online poker, real players, 0 risk. The 1 million gold free roll runs every hour on the half hour. No buy-in, no catch, just your shot at gold. Tournaments, ring games, those new no gamble, no future theme sit and goes with the wheel of gain. It's all waiting. Play now at playpokergo.com. Available on web, iOS, and Android.
Download the app.
The monster stack and first place somewhere from 7th to 1st in the main event.
At least 1.5 million.
Yeah.
And he could finish somewhere from 7th to 1st. That's all very live.
Absolutely.
The majority of people that are tuning in They see a lot of themselves in a guy like Dunaway and in a guy like Was. Just blue collar, regular person, loves to play poker. And it happens. You can final table the main and change your life forever.
I mean, you say that, but a lot of the semi to professional poker players that I know see themselves in Bojovic because they also think they are actual doctors given their Twitter feeds. So
Oh, man.
This guy's got a degree in epidemiology. I pretend to all the time.
Bojovic lead for 1.8 million. Hendrix with the smallest of pieces.
And I don't know if our audio is still live right now, guys, but bear with us. We are, of course, seeing the blackout now on YouTube.
Yeah, we sincerely apologize for that.
As I mentioned, we are enduring a massive attack on the PokerGO side of things, so we will get this sorted as quickly as we can. And if you do hear us, please let us know.
Hendrix comes in for the raise to 5.6.
What a gutsy play by Hendrix that really puts Bojovic in such a terrible spot. Wow.
Yeah, wow, indeed. The 3-bet to 10 million.
This is our first blind v blind of the young main event final table, and it is creating, at least for me, quite unexpected fireworks given the holdings.
Between two of our more studied players who we just naturally assumed would be some of the tightest, all things considered.
If you're Hendrix, I don't know where you have to go here. There's no good turn cards other than a 6. And you think Bojovic probably limps the small with some of his super premiums too, so you just... Wow.
No way.
This is...
No way.
Is he really cutting? This is happening?
A clip.
The Iceman.
And this is stunning, given everything that we've said about people playing tight.
We might make a world record today.
And you hear Mizrachi saying, set up, set up, set up.
Yeah, trust me, this is no setup.
We might play to the winner.
I don't know where Hendrix came up with this. I really don't. This is a limped pot pre that went Bojovic 1.8 flop, Hendrix to 5-6, a 3-bet to 10, and now a 4-bet. Hendrix saying he's got 2 pair.
It's really quite sensational from both. Hendrix just the last to act.
Fun to watch at home, right?
Yeah. I mean, even here.
Yeah.
Extremely polarizing. If somehow Bojovic pulls the trigger, you're either getting the snap fold or the snap call. It's a game of chicken.
Also, how does Hendrix look so calm right now? He just formed at the 6 deuce at the main event final table.
And I know this simply is not done in modern poker, certainly on this stage. But if there was ever a time, if this gets through, to just the old windmill what you think is the bluff, but it's even though the best hand.
Everybody's very serious here.
It's Rocky, the only one talking.
Huh?
No, fun. How can you not, right?
Sure. Just another poker game. Do it every day.
It is.
But you gotta look at it. You gotta have
Look
fun.
at the payouts brought to you by GTO Wizard. Next pay jump. Worth 400K, and the cards go into the muck.
You got to windmill that one. He did. He windmilled it right over.
Let's go. Yes, he did.
Oh, he
Showed
did.
him the 6 deuce. I think it was worth 4.5 entering the day. So yeah, probably
yeah,
6-ish. I don't know.
A little more. It's worth more than third place money is what.
Yeah, for sure.
My educated, and by educated, having studied 0 ICM spots ever,
Very educated.
Is this our? Oh, it's small blind. I was going to say I thought this was an open limp. My apologies.
6-4-3 straight draws for both. Waz is of the open-ended variety. Dunaway leads for 3.2 million. After talking with Waz over the last couple days, it feels like he's just in the middle of this magical experience. He's like got enough confidence in himself, like, hey, yeah, I'm playing solid. I realize some of these guys are really good.
Oh.
But I can put pressure on him, especially here. He makes it 8.5 million. Nice.
For Waz, this is a free roll, right? He said it.
Yeah, he said it.
Late, 2 nights ago at the end of the night that just has no pressure on his shoulders.
Dunaway makes the call.
Makes the call.
And Waz turns the straight.
This could get Dunaway in trouble if he wants to try and represent the Waz holding. I don't think it'll happen, but if somehow Waz were to check here, he would be opening up that river door for Dunaway to have to bluff, assuming it's some sort of brick. He does check. This is gross.
Rafer brings another 6.
75-7.
Waz may have just given him more and more value for that turn straight. He may have opened up the door to receive max value.
You saw this coming, Brent.
It's happening, yeah.
And the call on the flop is, I know he had the best hand with queen high. It feels like you see a lot of times with that gut shot, a check raise on the flop. But a check call.
He led for 3.2 and then was raised.
I'm sorry, but
Waz is locked in.
Yeah, just snaps it off.
Dunaway right.
Dunaway mucks.
Waz doesn't have to show his hand either.
Oh.
As he extends his chip lead. He's got more than 80 million more than anybody else.
Play PokerGO. It's where the action never stops. Now you can chase your share of 1 million in gold every single hour. Jump into free online poker, real players, zero risk. The 1 million gold free roll runs every hour on the half hour. No buy-in, no catch, just your shot at gold. Tournaments, ring games, those new no gamble, no future theme sit and goes with the wheel of gain. It's all waiting. Play now at playpokergo.com. Available on web, iOS, and Android.
Download the app.
The fine American coffee makers are just importers, right? Unless you're in Hawaii. I feel like it's, I mean, I get great coffee from an amazing grocery store in New York City called Zabar's, but I don't think it's local.
Not made in America.
I mean, I assume our coffee is not here, but again, I would tell Leo, like, you can get amazing coffee in America.
Stuff, yeah. A bit expensive here, perhaps, for the good stuff.
Tariffs? Why is it expensive here?
I knew. Brent's eyes lit up. And here's one of my favorite things about Brent Hanks. You can't ever accuse him of being political because he really just doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right. Good point.
Like, what tariffs is a good line, but I don't know who is supposed to be insulted by it.
I'm not insulting anyone.
Exactly.
I'm begging the question.
And what, again, I apologize, just to go back. You taught which class?
This actually is good for my case. 5th and 6th grade.
Social studies.
Yeah, we learned a lot about the Boston Tea Party. Tariffs.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we only play 60s.
It's a revolution.
32.
Margets defends with the Jack-Deuce suited. Let's see a deuce in the window.
And again, we were having a slight geopolitical conversation, but it is noteworthy.
Very slight, yes.
Dunaway just opening under the gun +1.
Yeah. It's not
outrageous.
He likes
but
the hand, he just plays it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that with Dunaway. He treats this like a cash game,
I gotta
which
tell
makes
you,
him dangerous.
It also reminds me of my style, which I've got to tell you, I'm not sure is great for Dunaway's chances, but it's giving me hope.
0 mistakes.
No mistakes.
Leo, non-believer.
Turns a gutter.
See if Dunaway fires up a second shell, turning that gutter. He just looks like he's in the zone, right? What we heard in his interview.
Oh, he does check back.
River brings the 10 of spades.
Does Dunaway just give up ever? Are you allowed to give up?
Really hard for him to bluff at this putt. It might work. He's playing it sort of like he could have had a flush draw.
Right.
Bet flop. Okay, I get called. Little resistance. Flush comes home.
And if you are against something like this, you can win with a bet. Potentially. Not definitively, but and checking, you're just giving it away.
Just going to give it up.
Might be a wise just wave it sort of scenario. Also, some information gathered from Dunaway. What is Leo defending with?
Yeah, and maybe she has 4 or 5, and your 8 high just wins it.
That'll be good for Leo Margets, the 27th place finisher in 2009.
The last 40 minutes or so has been pretty content to fold. Leo, you'd imagine, not folding here.
She has king 10 as well. I keep going back to this. You wonder if Waz opens the king 8 suited earlier. Then Minghini jams ace queen suited, and Hallaert folds the 4s. Waz then folds the king 8 suited. It's just, you just never know.
It's kind of mind-boggling and warped to think about how just randomness can affect so much, especially in tournament poker.
On day 8, we had a 3-bet by ace queen into Waz's 4-bet with ace king. Padron has jacks, has Waz covered, tanks forever, folds them.
13.3.
The ace queen calls off, and Waz holds and propels him here. And now Kinney done getting pushed around.
3-betting with the ace 4 off.
Leo started the hand around 25, 26 bigs and out. And Nick, to what you were just talking about, that hand with Waz and with Padron, who finished in 10th place.
Just keeps coming.
It's going to run into it once more as Waz looks down at kings.
Second time that Waz has had kings, I believe.
His 3-bet is to 10 million.
Oh.
And Grinder has ace king.
Oh my goodness. Absolute cooler. Just talking about Mizrachi, right? He's never folding.
You spoke this into existence.
Obviously you know this. We have no idea what's to come on this broadcast. So
we are spoiler free watching it with you all at home. He says raise it up.
Here we go. Crowd knows what that means. They're saying, oh, Mikey's getting it in. He's going to go all in. And he's going to be in terrible shape.
Not quite all in.
It's committing.
It's at 30 million. Everybody else an interested observer, a 400K pay jump.
Dunaway just sort of taking his time before he inevitably bows out of the way.
Waz's turn with the kings.
What you got
Want to count? I'd like a lot. You want to count?
Yeah. Grinder. He wants to count.
I mean, at least an estimate here.
30.
I'm all in. Raise all in.
And here we go. More than 151 million in the middle.
Wow.
Kings, ace king.
Ace king.
The winner of this hand's going to win the tournament. I'm going to say that right now.
I've got kings. He's got ace.
Mizrachi's going to take the chip lead or be out in 7th.
If he hits this ace, this place will explode.
Either Mizrachi's got 150 or Wasnock has half the chips in play.
Biggest pot of the main event. Jack 9-7. Clean for the Kings. Grinder looks for an ace. We can see one was folded pre. That's why the ace of hearts is grayed out.
Crazy.
Turn card is a queen. The straight draw arrives.
All of a sudden.
But he doesn't obviously know. That only added one out. 3 tens folded.
It's got to be the ace of diamonds, the ace of clubs, or the 10 of diamonds for Michael Mizrachi. Or his day is done. To stay alive.
Oh! Oh my God!
He finds the ace on the river.
He only had 3 live outs in the deck.
Play PokerGO. It's where the action never stops. Now you can chase your share of 1 million in gold every single hour. Jump into free online poker, real players, zero risk. The 1 million gold free roll runs every hour on the half hour. No buy-in, no catch, just your shot at gold. Tournaments, ring games, those new no gamble, no future theme sit and goes with the wheel of gain. It's all waiting. Play now at playpokergo.com. Available on web, iOS, and Android.
Download the app.
Marget's the ace-10 suited. 20 bigs.
Can't just limp the button one time. You know, just one blind. Just call. No.
Grinder called a 3-bet with deuces earlier. He's now the chip leader. Just saying.
Great point. As Hallaert looks down at 2 6s in the big blind. Again, Marget's starting the hand a little less than 20 bigs. These are 2 hands perhaps worthy of doing battle in this specific scenario. Hallaert does jam.
Yeah, and this hand might be too good. I think it has to call. I think ace-10 suited is a call. She knows it. She's gathering herself.
I call.
And she makes the call.
As 10 de corazones. As 10 de corazones. Me ha hecho push directo. ¿Contra qué? ¿Contra qué? Contra 6. As 10 de corazones.
Ace-10 of hearts against 6s. Margets goes to a rail like she's been doing. Can hardly watch.
Bien, 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 bien jugado, bien jugado. Cae, 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 caelas. Caelas. Corazón. Ha salido 6, ¿no? No, no ha salido, tranquila. No ha salido nada todavía. Tranquila, cae, corazón, cae.
One of the most significant flips that we've seen in World Series of Poker main event history.
Rey de Majota. Corazón, corazón, corazón. As.
Jack of hearts, 7-5, 3 to the royal. For now, Margets looks for an ace or 10.
Queen of hearts.
That would be a fun one. The turn is the ace.
Oh, but it's a spade.
Of spades. Not over yet. Hallaert looks for the 6 or the spade to eliminate Leo Margets. River card is a spade.
No pasa nada, Leo, lo has hecho súper, ¿eh? Eres la campeona, eres la número 1, eres la mejor.
Oh, the air's taken out of the room. As the well-deserved round of applause starts to come in for Leo Margets. A 7th place finish. And an outstanding performance that made history at the World Series of Poker main event.
Grinder with ace king again.
And again, he gives the
guys.
Not that we're big live reads, guys.
I'm just telling you. I think Grinder's got a live tell. 2 thumbs to the skies.
2 for 2 on that one.
Is ace king off.
Oh, and it's 2 jacks for Hendrix. Starting the hand with a little less than 30 bigs, facing the open from the chip leader.
What about you guys?
Second smallest stack on the table.
Should be.
Grinder just said, I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about you guys.
It's going to be a 40-second take and fold. It's in the camera.
Hendrix in between just, 3-bet call, I believe, with this hand. But because it's the Grinder, as the chip leader who's going to be opening a ton of hands, he says, all right, you know what? 3-bet, I'm willing to play for it all if he 4-bets all in. I don't think we're 3-bet folding 2 jacks against Mizrachi.
No chance.
And I don't think Mizrachi's ever just calling with these chips in this spot.
150 million.
There it is. There's the jam. Hendrix looks back.
He knows he's in a 6 spot right now. The way Mizrachi said that, he's going to call anyway. Here we go.
Here we go once more.
Jacks, ace, king.
Ace king.
Could turn this tide of the tournament once again.
There's a screen.
Ace king, ace king.
Hey, dealer, jack of hearts. Jack ball. Jack of hearts. Jack ball.
Hendrix will watch alongside his rail.
I'm jacks.
Crazy. Jack 6, 3, rainbow. It is Jack. Jack 6, 3, rainbow.
Electric atmosphere
Go. Jack
at the Horseshoe Event Center.
Jack 6, 3.
Let's see 3. Queen, queen 4. So far, so good for the jacks of Adam Hendrix.
Got a deuce. Deuce down. Deuce down. Deuce down.
The turn is a king. The turn is a king. Hendrix down to 2 outs. It's a jack there for the Iceman. No. And perhaps the toughest player left. One of the best pros out there in the game, Adam Hendrix, out in 6 for $1.9 million. And he's going to have quite the wedding, I imagine, with another $2 million.
Also, it's very rare you see your funeral.
That's also true, yeah.
Another.
Seen some huge hands.
I'm surprised it's done. I would imagine he just calls. It's usually his style to just want to get mixed up with flops, but.
And that's part of why we've had such an insane 2 hours. Every spot, Brent, where there's been a choice, do I call this raise or 3-bet?
Yeah, it's been like the higher variance.
Every guy, every time, has chosen the 3-bet approach. Nobody's passively played a big hand.
With the exception of maybe hand number 1, which was just a cooler.
Correct.
Wow, Mizrachi.
Are you
squeezing 2 jacks? What?
Which is it?
11,500,000.
Oh my goodness.
Double fisting with the Millie chips.
I'm telling you,
is there any
Kenny Hallaert might have to
folds?
fold ace-king. Second in chips, seeing this type of action, 3-bet, 4-bet behind.
Bojovic, by the way, sitting there thinking, maybe this can happen again.
This is insane.
600K pay jump from 5th to 4th.
Can see him doing the accounting. I mean, the door's open where he obviously could rip it, but just think about that spot. You're second in chips.
And you have 75 bigs going into the hand.
And it doesn't look like Mizrachi's messing around, right? He's got a hand. He knows that Mizrachi has a hand.
In this specific spot, though, if he did rip it, I think Mizrachi folds.
He might. He might. Look at the sizing. That 40 million from Mizrachi, that's already committing his stack to Dunaway, who's the 3-better.
Right, but not to Hallaert.
Not to Hallaert. But I'm saying, I just don't think that ace-king off is in any sort of position to want to just play a pot for the main event. But you'd be talking about more than 60% of the chips in play if it all went in.
Whether he's right or not, I think Kenny thinks he's the best player left. And is going to try to find a better spot.
I agree. This is not.
It's a great point.
This is not a hand you just want to get all in with right here, right now. Not with those payouts. Not with Bojovic having less than 20 bigs. This is sickening.
When he turned his head to the dealer, I thought he was going to just say looked like that when you turn your head to say all in. He turned his head to the dealer, said nothing, and now is turned back. I think he's folding.
And he does let go of the ace-king. Dunaway out as well, and Mizrachi extends his chip lead. Play PokerGO. It's where the action never stops. Now you can chase your share of 1 million in gold every single hour. Jump into free online poker, real players, zero risk. The 1 million gold free roll runs every hour on the half hour. No buy-in, no catch, just your shot at gold. Tournaments, ring games, those new no gamble, no future theme sit and goes with the wheel of gain. It's all waiting. Play now, playpokergo.com. Available on web, iOS, and Android.
Download the app. By the way, somebody let the grinder know he's got a lavender on the rail. He's in.
Eight, 5 offsuit. That's what he wants to do battle with. He has found the open-ender on a 10-9-7 board.
Everybody's found a little something.
Hallaert, of course, would devastate Grinder were the jack to roll off, and Dunaway with the 2 overs and the gutter. Interactions aplenty here in a 3-way affair. No follow through on Kenny's mind. Dunaway content to close the action quite quickly. Ugly duckling.
Huge card for Hallaert.
Yeah, for Kenny, it's actually quite attractive. Still just queen high, but you see the spade draw coming in. And you see Grinder doing what he's done so often en route to this massive stack, and that is lean on him.
It's interesting. Kenny still is somewhat uncapped. I don't think it's out of the realm for him to check great hands on the flop. Could go either way for him as far as call or raise. He knows the grinder's not shy, which kind of makes one want to raise a little bit more than normal. But at the same time, if he winds up coming over the top, it's so devastating with a hand with so much equity. Looks like he calls. And for Dunaway, I think we have to close the action and call as well with a draw to the stone nuts. But it is 20% of his stack. Looks like with that smirk, he's likely gone. Perhaps not. The king is just good a fair amount of the time, too. Okay, huge river coming, Ali.
$48 million in the middle. Board pairing deuce. A real desiccant to what had otherwise taken shape.
Note the furrowed brow and the little squint.
Indicating determination.
We know the determination is there.
Look at this. The worst of three unpaired hands finds the barrel and finds the pot as the rich get richer. Queen jack now for the grinder.
Raise to 4 million.
Min raise. Bojovic with the dirty diaper. Hallaert with king 10.
4 million, right? 4.
It's a hard spot for Kenny playability-wise. Being in second against the big chip leader, especially the grinder. But of course, we're defending king 10.
Taking his time before paying the price of admission, which yields fruit. King, jack, deuce. Top pair against second pair, poised to take a bite out of the grinder, which has been a difficult man to chomp down on the day. He's been doling out more bite marks than he's been issued.
That is 4.3.
And now he doles out a C-bet. 4.3. Kenny coming with the call. Another 8.6. Flows into the purse.
A little bit interesting. Might the grinder want to sort of merge this second pair?
Check.
Checking back feels very normal, but a bet might garner some value from a slightly worse jack and might even confuse something like king 6. Remember, it's not just this clip Kenny has to worry about. Ideas of grinder blasting off on the river are alarming, but we would think with the king and the 10, we have to fight on once more.
$12.6. Things getting a bit more serious.
And these sorts of ideas in no limit are always interesting. This isn't a straight value bet. It's a lot more complicated than that.
You know, oftentimes when the action is not on us, we don't find players looking over at the person upon whom the decision lies, but rather disengaging and sort of allowing the person upon whom the decision is to look. But you see Grindr just eyes darting over.
Some of it's a little bit stylistic, and it does just come right home for Mike.
Very stylish 7 of diamonds on the end.
He's about to cross the 300 mil mark.
Top pair flushed right down the tubes. Oh. And it ain't
I
on.
don't think Kenny is ever doing anything but check. However, I did see that jockeying of the chips.
Ultimately, as you suspected, he does check it over in value, of course.
And you know, some of the grabbing the chips might be to freeze the grinder occasionally or to feign that he was considering leading.
Good luck with that.
Agree, but you know, Hallaert is here as well, 5 left. We can see it won't work this time, but might the idea have been to deter Grinder occasionally with air. 50 million will be garnering a fold in short order.
One never knows to what extent future game horticulture is on Kenny's mind as he plants the seeds, but he's going to plant that king right into the bin.
A couple of them were coming over freaking out. He's got 15 people out there. They flew out here. And they're saying we can't sit up. I said, buddy, I'm commentating. What do you want from me, pal?
I'd hate for something bad to happen to someone out here.
I'm just saying, if somebody gets knocked out cold, it wasn't me, but it was me. But it does appear they're finally up there.
Wasnock drawing butter.
Waz with the crabs and the grinder with an ace.
Raise.
Oh.
14.
The Inquisition to the tune of 14 million here. Suited ace for Bojovic. Nick, in the small, pressure mounts upon that ever-dwindling stack of his.
It does mount, but
he dismounts.
Visions of occasionally grinder busting Waz are so exciting for Bojovic. And just ace-8. For Waz, does he want to peel and try to hit that crab?
We got a big hand here.
Is he going crab fishing, Ali?
Yes, he is.
And note the pot is 33 million. I don't know if that's lucky for Waz.
Not the worst board
Still
for threes.
in the lead. No, but a difficult one to play.
Yeah, you got a red one already.
What was this? Grinder flashing the pocket for us?
I think he flashed the ace tattoo.
Okay.
Maybe there's a 4 there, though.
8.5.
8.5 million the follow through.
You know, this scenario for Waz is just so hard to play. But the bravery is valiant. He's calling, Ali. Even 50 mil in there.
Counterfeiting nickel rolls off on the turn. The ace high now best.
And these spots are so interesting for the grinder. He's the one who can have the boats. Waz really can't. We would think Mike thinks he's usually beat here or chopping. And he's really trying to put pressure on 6s, 8s, 9s. And of course, the other ace. We can see Waz somehow
bad turn. I had you before that.
All true. Take it, sir.
Surely Boston sports fans are going to be all over me.
We saw Hallaert unafraid with the ace-queen off. How does he want to play this king-jack suited?
It would be quite remarkable if this fictitious character, or perhaps not so fictitious character that we've conjured up on Grinder's rail, began to provide advice in situations like this.
That guy ain't fictitious, pal.
Do the right thing, Kenny. Don't be stupid.
It's 3-bet now. I'll see you later, Kenny. I'm just saying, brother. Oh, Dunaway in as well.
A big pot. This one. Feel it.
And
Grinder declares he feels a big pot.
Somebody's busting.
oh. Prophesizing is Grindstradamus. King 10 tray. Top pair for Hallaert. Second pair for Mizrachi. Doesn't seem like sufficient ingredients as it stands for someone to be sent packing with 14 million in the middle. There's the follow through. 5.5.
No road forward for Kenny, really, other than call. Don't like to speak in absolutes, but
He concurs. Dunaway's departure, a formality.
oh dear.
Lady in black on the turn, dressing Mizrachi with the best hand.
And you know, we would imagine Mike pursues further value, but Kenny's range is alarming and has all sorts of big-time coverage on this board. It isn't as if Kenny has that much King X, but he can have Queen Jack, Ace Queen, this one. And if we're Mike, we're trying to get more chips in right now, I do believe. And for Kenny, obviously nowhere to go but continue once more. Big pot here.
Believe mom and pop on the rail. Is it perhaps just efforting exactly who the presences are, as Mizrachi's effort is to the tune of 21.5 million. For Hallaert, the exit is not the option, and obviously the raise would seem reckless.
This is quite difficult. I would go for the call. I think it's clear, but maybe there are ideas that this sort of hand can just kind of rip or aggress beyond call. But he is going for the standard, let's call it 68 million in the middle. Grinder a 2-1 favorite.
The 4 is of zero concern.
I'll tell you what, Ali. This sometimes could be the end of Kenny Hallaert. It feels crazy to think that, but imagine how many hands Grinder is playing. And if you're in Kenny's seat, he can have so many bluffs from which to choose from.
This...
Note he sighs and looks back at his cards. It's really interesting watching him just kind of do his thing.
You think that's deliberate?
No. Not deliberate. I think he's just so free out there. He goes for 60 into 68, and I think this is going to take a little while. 60. But nobody would be surprised to see Hallaert hero this off. Grinder kind of running away with this thing, Ali.
Well, Kenny's going to do a little math and determine if he clicks call and is wrong, as we can see he will be. Would be, rather. How much would he have left? And he is not in a rush to make his mind up here. This not making the decision any easier, Nick.
Matters complicated further. And he picked an annoying size for Kenny. If he calls and he's wrong, he still has 24. Bojovic 16. He does pay it off. He hears the bad news, Ali. Oh my. Big slick for Bojovic. Go on, Ali. He is the outright favorite to win right now, if that was the question.
Is there really anything other than a misstep on his part or a sun run on someone else's that's going to be able to dethrone him?
You know, sometimes you just, a few all-ins don't go your way and all of a sudden it's close again. A lot can still happen, but we see the situation, Ali, as Bojovic says it. He's all in.
Precisely what he's been looking for.
See if Waz wakes up with anything. Oh, he does.
We've got a customer.
Waz definitely will be calling this 8 bigs and change.
Flicks in the call. And it isn't just the two participants on their feet. That 600K ladder and another step toward potential glory in the main could be upon us if the ace-jack cracks ace-king. As is so often the case, gladiators tend to head to their corners.
So ace of clubs working for Waz.
And working hard. Steel wheel draw. The wheel obviously is a chop card.
Line of clubs.
This one's sweatier than a streetwalker in church. Jack on the turn.
Devastating for Bojovic.
A tortuous changing of the lead. Bojovic not out of it. The king is of use for the whole 36. The 5 to carve. And instead it's a 6.
What a run for Bojovic. Hard not to like that guy. You could tell how much his friends love him. They're still singing celebratory songs into the night. 5th place in the 2025 main. Very good game to you, sir.
Helping of tokens parked in front of Michael the Grinder Mizrachi. 4-time PPC winner. Looking to add 1-time main event winner. And he is well poised to do that.
He's ruthless. He's relentless.
Let's go, baby.
And there's no sign he'll stop until he gets what he wants. Michael Mizrachi is on the run
and rush of a lifetime. And tonight, he looks to close out the World Series of Poker main event final table, capping off an impossible to fathom double-double with the Poker Players Championship.
Congratulations.
Some have stood in his way. Others still stand in his way. But if momentum is the guide, the grinder will be a world champion at the end of the night.
He is a grinder.
And claim with it $10 million.
That's firing.
9 long days ago, we embarked upon this journey, not a sprint, but an endurance race that is coming around the backstretch. Ali Nejad and Nick Schulman here in the booth, ready to coronate one of our final 4 players. Jeff Platt, Natalie Bodie, working the sidelines as you get a look at that $500,000 worth of gold bracelet. That's gonna come with the $10 million up top. And Michael Mizrachi certainly rates to be the man to lay claim to all of it when you look at it by the numbers. The lion's share of the chips, but John Wasnock is gonna have something to say. Second biggest stack in the field, $94.5 million, 37 bigs. His rail is here to will him on in the effort to dethrone the grinder's chip lead. Braxton Dunaway has looked steely. 42 years of age, you see him, determination awash on that face as he entered the arena earlier here today. Laser focused and looking relaxed and like a man who, well, quite frankly, has been down here before. That's because he has. Former 6th place finisher at the World Series of Poker main event, Kenny Hallaert, 19 million, sub 10 big blind stack. Obviously, work to be done. And there are the payouts brought to you by GTO Wizard. $3 million on tap, a $1 million ladder if you can make the podium, and of course $7 million away from the 10 milli up top. Let's send it down to Jack Effel to kick things off.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final day of the 2025 World Series of Poker main event. It's been the most exciting final table ever, and today we're going to crown a world champion. And so there are 4 players remaining. We are starting in level number 41. The blinds are 1 million, 2.5 million, with a 2.5 million big blind ante. Dunaway has the button in seat number 2. I'd like to wish these players the best of luck, and I'd like to ask all of you, what time is it? It's time to shuffle up and deal.
Thanks, Jack. And the excitement obviously fills the air here in Vegas. 60 hands under our belt here at this final table. We have really flown from 9 down to 4, Nick, and the flight could continue here given the 2 shorties.
Well, the grinder last night...
Was that a bottle of tequila?
I think it was a bottle of tequila. In response to Platt, who said, what's it going to take to win tomorrow, he gave one of the most iconic answers ever. About an hour. So let's see. Ace queen off for Kenny. All in forthcoming.
The only place to go is forward with the full 19 million. The modest clip unloaded. Queen tray in the bin, king 7 as well. Wasnock takes a peek.
Sorry.
Before mucking it, king jack of diamonds for the grinder, Nick.
Good luck, gentlemen.
This is hand number 1, and we've already got an all-in and a call.
Diamonds, ace queen. King jack of diamonds. As vrouw. Koning boer uit. Gaat als vrouw. Now has ace king. We need a king or a jack.
I don't think it comes as a surprise, just given the presence of the grinder and sort of the speediness with which we got down here, that we're picking up where we left off. Grinder behind roughly 3-2. And that's where he stays on a 10-5-4 all spade board.
I'm good at this part. It's probably gonna come a queen.
Hallaert's advantage ascends, needs to hold. Oh, and a jack! Now it will take an ace, a king, or a queen for Hallaert to keep on trucking here at this FT. Otherwise, he's out in hand one, and that'll do it.
Legendary run, Kenny. One of the greatest main event resumes ever, Ali. And that will do it.
$3 million.
Kenny.
Fourth place finish.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
You gotta imagine he expected to have a little bit more run than that, Nick.
Well, came in with 8 bigs. Can't be too surprised, and we see the elation on the grinder rail.
You talked about his main event resume. Norman Chad tweeted with respect to his large field performances. In his last 16 WSOPs, he's live cashed 83 times in fields of 1,000 and up, 33 times in fields of 5,000 and up, and 12 times in fields of over 10,000 players, 6 of those coming in the main, including 2 final tables. A tremendous performance by Kenny Hallaert, but one that is cut short by the King Jack of the grinder, and Dunaway, 10-6 of hearts in the big, Nick.
Ace 10 is ahead of 10-6.
You know, I don't love that call, Ali, with the 10-6.
Just need to avoid a 6.
Blind versus blind. Of course, he anticipates Mizrachi is going to attack with a wide array, but 10-6 of hearts strikes me as underperforming against 2 randoms.
I get it. He's clear short. He wants to gamble. Let's run him.
$2 million pay ladder between third and second. He's already locked up an extra $1 million after Hallaert's departure. But he ain't doing well here. King, queen, 4 with a couple of diamonds. Mizrachi has this one by the throat.
Ace is a bad card, actually.
48.5 million chip pot. Just a black 6. Will do it for Dunaway. Not home on the turn.
Only a 6. Only a 6.
It's the rail discussing the outs.
There's no 6.
Just for 2 million. Wait till soon. Now it's coming, it's coming.
The grinder in the embrace of the friends and
What
family
heads
on
up,
the
Ali?
rail. A diamond for good measure. And a table for 4 just became a table for 2.
Braxton, what a run, my man. $4 million for third. The rail lets him hear it.
This is crazy.
Back in Moore, Oklahoma, those that didn't make the trip are no doubt going nuts, as are those in Midland, Texas, where B-Dun calls home. Well, A $4 million cherry on top of the $1.5 million Sunday in terms of career tournament earnings coming into this one for Braxton Dunaway. Jordan, Macy, Hayes, and Sawyer, his kids, no doubt proud of Papa. Let's send it down to Jeff Platt.
When you draw up this day, could you draw it up like that, or is it just not believable anymore?
I said 60 seconds, not 60 seconds.
You did say it would take an hour.
60 minutes, not 60 seconds. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, this is running good. But that was a little question. He called with 10-6, but I don't know. I got a good spot, I guess. Yeah.
You have more than a 5-1 chip lead approaching heads-up play. Okay. What's it going to take to get this done? And don't give me an amount of time. What will it take to win?
We see a lot of flops, apply a lot of pressure, and just try to keep it small and just small ball for now.
Do you allow yourself to enjoy the moment, to soak it all in, that you are indeed heads up for the main event World Championship?
Well, let's win it first, and then then that's what's second. If you ain't first, you're last. So we're going for first. That's it.
I love it. He's going for first. He's Michael Mizrachi. Waz is fighting for first as well, and he's with Natalie Bodie.
All right, John, I mean, how do you describe just the first couple hands of this final table?
Well, given the stack sizes, I kind of expected something like that might happen. I figured the cards were going to dictate how that was going to go down, and Mike was going to jam with whatever he had those first couple hands, and he woke up with some cards. So I have to say that's the fastest $3 million I've ever made.
Certainly, and Mizrachi let us know last night he looked at a few hands. What did you do to prepare for this stage?
I went through and watched the stream, but to prepare, I just tried to put myself in different situations on what I would do given the stack sizes. There could have been some hairy situations there given the ICM implications, but just played out the way it did given the cards.
Best of luck to you. We'll be heads up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Natalie. As we give you a look at the tail of the tape here, it'll be heads up between the Grinder and Wasnock. Then play PokerGO, where the action never stops. Chase your share of $1 million in gold every single hour. Jump into free online poker with real players and zero risk. The gold free roll runs every hour on the half hour. No buy-in, no catch, just your shot at gold. Play now at playpokergo.com. You see all the beautiful cash has now been spilled over onto the felt, as if either of these guys needed a reminder that they are effectively playing a $4 million sit and go, and one heck of a handicap advantage Mizrachi in a real way.
Yeah, we're all favoring the Grinder, and it seems written, but a lot can happen heads up.
This is an iteration of poker that stands on its own, Nick, in terms of the specific study required in order to approach it optimally. Not three-handed, four-handed, anything else is like it. It can be a game of momentum. As we see the first flop, ace, jack, 7. King high, still best.
Pot A. Going to the Grinder.
Nick, I had a couple of folks chatting with me before this one got underway. And even four-handed, as we see the largest ever deficit overcome in the last 2 decades was last year's champ, Jonathan Tamayo. I confess, I was nervous and anxious in a way that I normally wouldn't be. And it had everything to do with what gear Grinder was going to come out of the gates with, because it can go wrong if you get out in front of your skis.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Ali. And this could be a little window into a good sign for the Grinder, despite having the snowman.
Taking a walk there. He was ready to go, no doubt. And that rail is ready to go as well. Don't be surprised if they spill over right down into the feature and maybe make off with a bundle or two in the process. Unclear. Is that actual cash?
Yeah, I hope nobody on the Grinder's rail, lets those old instincts kick in.
9-6 offsuit for the Grinder.
who actually, instincts is a very apropos way to describe what he draws upon when he's out there.
Yeah, it's been really interesting hearing rumblings from some still not giving him his credit, still out there with these wild takes that he's not playing well or this and that. You know, this guy's one of the best ever. And in hindsight, some of the moves he made that I didn't love, just open shoving jacks, the huge sort of all-in with queens, those two I wasn't crazy about as we see the grinder picking up outs, Waz with the 7. In hindsight, I started thinking, does he think he's stealing so many pots from these guys that he just didn't want the variance of a normal 3-bet? His top 2 comes in for Waz, flush for the grinder.
Yeah, obviously, John not particularly thrilled about the jack sub, and
it's all going Mike's way, Holly.
With the double gutter, as the straight draws turn into a flush draw. Or a flush, rather. In the event of interruptions to your PokerGO stream, please visit the PokerGO YouTube channel for continued coverage. And please visit GTO Wizard if you're looking to make optimal decisions in high-pressure spots. They've got you covered. Study any situation with their AI, making it the ultimate tool to prepare yourself for those critical moments at the table. Check it out now at gtowizard.com/PokerGo. Get started for free and save 10% off your first purchase. Limp pot. 6-6 tray and a couple of diamonds. Trips for Wasnock, and Mizrachi with interactions.
Oh, and he just checks it right back.
Now the diamond on the turn. Neither player with the flush draw. Note that that 5 turns into a gutter for Mizrachi, who speaks up for 2.5. In comes the raise.
Got it, Johnny.
Always. Against you, always I have it.
Note he slides his chair over. Get a closer look.
Got a glimpse there of Grinder's view of Wasnock.
Excited?
It's like any other tournament, right?
Huh?
Just like any other tournament.
Good response.
Those are important ones when you're trying to work your way back
Waz
up.
rail is here, Ali.
That they are. Just 143,000 in live tournament earnings as you look at his bio. Brought to you by Play Poker Go. And yet, steely as they come, he turned to Grinder and simply said, just like any other tournament, Nick. Waz's wife, Brandy, close friends Jorge and Chad on his rail, among others.
By the way, we got this dude on the rail too, top left, strong, massaging his goatee.
You know, I did see a pirate ship at Valet, and I was kind of wondering whose that was.
Great flop for Waz.
Top pair in the wheel draw against just Jack high. Club rolling off for added comfort.
A really nice start to this one for the grinder.
Back-to-back pickups for Waz. His 6 brothers, Steve, Jim, Tom, David, Mike, and Jeff, all keenly training their eyes on this one. Household, quote, full of testosterone. Waz knows how to jockey as he tries to tackle the grinder. Ace, queen. Upstairs.
You got any small ball in your game?
Huh?
Any small ball in your game? You're just gonna...
Trip queens. The deck runs rich for Waz. Just king high and backdoor hearts, checking over.
And by the way, it's getting a little bit adversarial out there. Nothing crazy, but even Waz asking him if he has any small ball in his game. You know, grinder kind of laughed, but it's sort of, you know, this is a $4 million heads-up match and legacy on the line.
6 of spades rolling off as Mizrachi check called that 5 million chip follow through barrel. Now drawing dead and facing barrel number 2. This time 10 million. Note that tequila bottle is at the ready on the rail. Unclear if it's with the intent to ingest or to bathe the grinder in the elixir.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both.
Waz nearing 100 million now. Ace on the button here. Michael taking it up, going to 6 million as opposed to the 5 million minimum.
You know, sometimes in these spots, you feel the guy in Waz's seat is kind of okay with losing. Of course, we know he's a huge dog, but it does feel like in his own way, Waz is here to win.
Last 10 years of main event, the chip leader has gone on to win it 70% of the time. And the grinder not looking to be the exception, as we're not looking to turn you anywhere other than Play Poker Go, where the action never stops. Chase your share of $1 million in gold every single hour. Jump into free online poker with real players and zero risk. The gold free roll runs every hour on the half hour. No buy-in, no catch, just your shot at gold. Play now at playpokergo.com. Although I say play now loosely, play later. Play after this one's done. Don't turn your eyes away from this moment here. Ace trade, Wasnock, turning it up to 5 million. Grinder, suited 10-4, defending. Swing and a miss on the ace 7-5 board for Grinder. He knuckles.
This is the thing about heads up. The cards can run a little funny sometimes, and if they do over 20, 30 hands, all of a sudden we can see some major shifts. Once again, Waz elects to check back a really good hand on the flop.
And look what the developments are as a result. The grinder picking up an open-ender. And
I think Waz's kind of plan is to trap the grinder a lot and use his aggression against him.
well, as we've observed on so many occasions, the trapper can become the trappee in a hurry, but Waz now raising it up and taking the fight to the grinder in ways few have.
It's only a few small ones, but this really is the first adversity we've seen Mike faced with in quite a while. Take it, Waz.
Yeah, letting go of the open-ender, and another pot flowing toward Waz. And I think even if they're not the biggest pots, just simply the act of hanging L's on the grinder and hanging W's upon yourself, an important one when it comes to heads up.
And you know, a lot of people say this in sports, but sometimes the toughest matches to win are the ones everybody expects you to win.
That's right. And without question, in that regard, Nick, the pressure is squarely on those durable shoulders of the grinder. King 10 of spades here, notching the king 9. Waz defending understandably.
You got 5 gray, right? 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jack 5-4. Not particularly interesting. The king of hearts worthy of note.
6 million.
Follow through of 6 million. And Waz just going to step aside. Looking to keep it clean there. And we're going to step over to Natalie Bodie, who caught up with Kenny Hallaert after his 4th place finish.
Well, Kenny, what's going through your mind as you step away from the table?
A bit of lots of emotions leaving my body probably right now. There's the relief, let's say, that it's over in a way. There's a bit of disappointment for, let's say, losing that last hand, which is a standard hand in poker. There's happiness for being 4th in the World Series of Poker main event. There's gratefulness for having the privilege for being able to play this tournament already for the 17th time. So yeah, lots of emotions, but yeah, I think happy that I'm here, happy that I can play this game for a living, and yeah, I'll be back next year, try to do better. Won't be easy, but I'll give it a shot at least.
Most people will never make a World Series of Poker main event final table, let alone do that more than once. What did it mean to you to get back to this stage?
It was a bit of a surreal feeling because, indeed, as you said, when I made it the first time, it almost felt impossible. But there's 9 butts to be filled in the seats at this final table. So sometimes your number gets drawn from the lottery. And yeah, I was lucky enough to be one of those. And now it happened again. It feels, yeah, surreal, amazing. It's. Look, I'm definitely not one of the best 9 poker players in the world. I will never be. But I have heart and commitment, have patience, have perseverance, and with cards a little bit on my side, I know a lot is possible for me as a player, and that's again what happened this tournament.
Thank you so much for the time.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Natalie, and thanks to Kenny for taking a moment. You know, it's easier said than done, wrangling a man or woman in perhaps one of the most acutely disappointing and yet joyous moments, all strangely wrapped into one for their thoughts, but
those were nice words from Kenny.
Those are nice final 2 payouts, aren't they, GTO Wizard? Bringing you the glimpse at the last 2 slots. $6 million on lockup as the $4 million sit and go rolls on.
You think they made a deal, Ali? Just kidding.
Well, as long as we're on the topic of it, let's just say, hypothetically, Nick, Waz were to double and win a few, somehow draw level. You think that would be enough to get the Grinder to talk deal?
Grinder ain't talking.
But his chips are. And he's got the most powerful voice as it stands. Trying to get up and over $500 million in chips. Not too many tournaments in which you can say that. 83% of the biscuits. 2 eliminations in 2 hands in short order. Hallaert with the ace-queen, perhaps a little bit less easy to comprehend the 10-6 of hearts for Braxton Dunaway, where he called it off against Grinder. But here we are, and Waz with the ace-queen, wagging his finger at the button limp. Take it. By the way, not sure if you caught a glimpse or not there on the rail. Unclear if there's a rooting interest or not, but the Hall of Famer Eli Elezra, along with wife Ela, out there soaking it up. To the left, believe?
I would imagine they're supporting the Grinder.
What's that? This one?
No, you know, actually was. He's a great friend of ours.
$5 million ahead, courtesy of some offsuit kit in both camps. Queen Jack 9, a couple of hearts here. Bottom pair for the Grinder, slips it to Waz. The dust ball checks back, doesn't improve on the turn. Nine's up on the end for Mizrachi, and value pursuits suddenly becoming available, 75%.
Nice restraint shown from Waz there.
You know, you often use the term will not go quietly, but I also feel as though Waz ain't looking to make a whole lot of noise out here either. Just procedurally, he clearly came in with a sense of how he wanted to conduct himself here, and he hasn't let the Grinder discombobulate that
Slept
one
like
bit.
a baby last night.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ali, and it looks like he might have made some adjustments too. He folded a Jack 7 off.
Grinder was out having shots of tequila. I was having shots of NyQuil.
I wish I was.
Is he talking smack or is
Tonight,
he joking
baby.
around? I kind of can't tell.
Could be merging.
Yeah. But I was going to say, he folded a Jack 7 off on the button, which is just wrong. But then he limped 10-4 off, which is right. So maybe he, you know,
a little bob and weave.
Maybe a little bob and weave. Sometimes you can bob too much, and this is not a good flop for Waz. Chop possibilities, but this is really troublesome.
Top pair for both parties.
Oh, Grinder sneaks along on the flop.
Picks up a gut shot on the turn. And of course, with the check back in front of us, we're quite proud of top pair. Hard to make any pair, let alone top pair, so the $7 million is drawn forward. Grinder content to flat. Pot grows to $28.5 million. 7 on the end, and suddenly the kicker becomes a straight. Waz with the break check.
For Waz, in terms of bluff catching, suppose it's good not to have a heart. Do just fall to a lot of stuff.
Straight.
Oh, Waz snaps, Ali. That was a big bet on the end, no?
35 million.
Oh, my.
Not so much as a chew from Waz, a reflexive call, which now...
Waz might have been all NyQuil last night, but...
He's going to be feeling a little bit drowsy on the back end of that one. I mean, Grinder is absolutely reveling in this, in his element, 1,000%. And perhaps just moments away from bracelet number 8, number 2 of the summer. Well, let's give you the summary here, brought to you by Oats Overnight. Winning is easier with 20 grams of protein. Please shake responsibly, and the Grinder has been responsible for the bulk of the carnage at the final table of this main event.
Thank you.
7-4 suited is... You witness just how quickly, Nick, all of the effort, all of the grinding can just be vanquished in the blink of an eye, like it was in that last pot, and leave you deflated. Both literally and proverbially. Check back here from the Jack-8 as we play a limped one. 10-7 deuce and a couple of spades. Grinder with the gutter, Waz with second pair. Position barrel, 5 million. Grinder flicks the nickel out there on the hunt for the 9.
2 pair for Waz.
Turn offering some more clarity with respect to 13. Another barrel.
13.
13.
I wouldn't call it Campbell's, but this is chunky.
Yeah. And for the Grinder with just the gut shot. It's a little bit interesting in theory ahead of all the inferior straight draws. He's gone. Big pickup for Waz. They all are when you have a 10-1 deficit.
All right, good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Well, the eyes of Sin City in terms of the poker community obviously are all trained here, but come November, they'll turn to Resorts World, who's playing host to the NAPT for the 3rd year in a row. The 3rd through the 12th, mark your calendar and come on down. 50K Super High Roller and a 5K main, plus a 1K PokerStars Open are all on offer, not to mention a 1K Women's High Roller. Players in Pennsylvania, Jersey, Michigan, and Ontario have the chance to win their way in. See the PokerStars app for more details. King 4 dominated, unbeknownst, limping on the button here, Waz with the K9 unit. Shoots it up to 7.5 total. Grinder nonchalantly making the call here, pot 17.5 as we see 3. Queen 9-6, Waz, second pair. King of spades works. Two checks and now 2 clubs on the turn. Both parties picking up the gutter. Again, Wasnock checks, Nick.
No bite from Grinder. Third club sliding in, and now the Grinder posing a question.
Finally, Waz's trapping might come to fruition.
Some stuff out there, of course.
There is, but with the king of clubs, 9, check down all the way to the river. We cannot fold. Grinder rallies his rail mid-bluff.
And it looks like Waz is going to put the mute button on him here as he finds the call. There it is, the silencer.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody rally the rail mid-bluff.
I haven't either. That was quite something. Almost leveraging them to 12th man effect. Oh my goodness.
Oh dear.
That was a sort of enthusiasm generally a man with an eye patch, a sword, and a plank brings forth.
Yeah. Well, that other guy was there earlier.
They should get together. Ace and the 9 plus the button getting together for a min raise. Mizrachi defends the suited combo and finds a flush draw, while Waz finds top 2, Nick.
And again, Waz checks back, and the flush does come in for the Grinder.
12.5.
By the way, great assessment from the Grinder to check it over once more. 10 mil from Waz. And he's doing it again, Ali.
And note last time he did it, he got caught bluffing.
And he's announced him raised, thumbs to the sky.
30 million.
And he makes it 30.
All in. Call.
Waz jams, Grinder snaps.
Come on, flush, flush. No club, no club, no club. Have a flush, have a flush. No club, only club. No club, no club. No, it's over, it's over, it's over. We're in. It's already over, right? It's over, it's over. We won, let's go.
Wait a minute.
It's not over, Grinder.
Mikey, wait a minute. He's got board pairs. Are we reading the board wrong? Hang on a minute.
Is it over? Oh, ace or 9. Shit, I didn't know that. Shit. I thought I didn't see 2 pairs.
Everybody relax.
This would be a catastrophic swing.
Ace 9.
If the board were to pair the ace or the 9 here and give Wasnock the double.
Mikey, baby.
No ace or 9. No ace or 9. No ace or 9.
That's all it would take. Yeah! And it's over!
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
A seemingly shell-shocked John Wasnock can do nothing but look on as he takes down 6 million. A merciless collision there. But in seemingly preordained fashion, Nick, a life's work validated, a final table eviscerated, and a summer conquered for Michael the Grinder Mizrachi.
Yeah, I've got tears in my eyes, Ali. A life's work validated is really well put. This is the most legendary accomplishment in the history of poker. And I just, man, there it is. The Grinder did it.
I didn't see his hand. You're in the middle, baby. I'm blinded by his hand.
$10 million. A second bracelet this summer, an 8th over the course of his career, which already amassed $19 million in earnings.
Let's send it down now to Natalie Bodie, standing
John,
by.
you described yourself as an amateur. Most amateurs will never make a run like this. What's going through your mind?
Well, it'll take a while to sink in. Obviously, in this moment, it's still disappointing. I really wanted to get that, to finish that off, but it's been an amazing ride.
How did you keep your composure on the biggest stage in poker?
It's just poker. I mean, there might be a few more zeros on the end, but the cards are what the cards are, and I don't have any regrets with the way I played all week. You know, I have my own strategy, and I stuck with it, and I'm happy to be where I'm at right now. It's obviously a little bittersweet in this moment, but this is a life changer.
How will this change your life outside of poker?
I haven't even got to that point yet. I need to take some time to let this kind of sink in, but it's amazing.
Great run at it, John. Thank you. Going to send it now to Jeff.
All right, thank you so much, Natalie, here with the champ. That was about an hour. You said that's what it would take. You told me an hour. From 3 big blinds to this, what did it take to come back and win the main event?
Oh, I can't explain it. I just experienced, I had a lot of fate, and I just felt like my favorite hand's 44.
Yeah.
I'm 44 years old. It's all meant to be. I won the Players' Championship for the 4th time. Now this.
How would you sum up what this World Series of Poker main event bracelet means to you?
I mean, I feel like I accomplished a lot. I feel like this cements everything in my life, and the best day of my life.
You hear the Hall of Fame chants. We love it. It is time to turn it over to World Series of Poker Senior Vice President Jack Effel. Jack, take it away.
Mike,
Thanks,
congratulations, my friend, on becoming this year's main event champion.
Thank you very much.
We have a special guest here today. He is Vice President of Pro Sports Sales from Jostens. He's here to present you with this year's main event bracelet, my friend.
It's a true honor for Jostens to present you with this bracelet. This is the pinnacle of World Series poker. And you have earned it. It is filled with 2,256 diamonds, over 42 carats, 367 grams of gold, worth more than $150,000. It's a great pleasure that Jostens has made this for you.
Thank you very much for making it for me.
You're welcome.
How about you hold up that bracelet right to that camera? The champ is here, and it's Michael the Grinder Mizrachi hoisting that bracelet that goes along with $10 million. Grinder, that's not all. Jack Effel, we have one more special presentation for this man.
Oh, that's right. That's right, Jeff. We have one more thing to do. Okay, well, I guess we need to bring up a few people to help us, right?
Go, okay.
So let's bring up those guys.
I see some superstars.
I think we got a couple
of
guys that want to come up here and join us.
Okay, sounds good.
See if we can get these guys up here.
I recognize them. Opie's here. Elliot Lezra, Phil Ivey, Brian Rast, John Hennigan, Johnny World is here, Jen Harmon is here.
Come on, Maury. Come on, Phil.
Maury Escandani, Phil Hellmuth.
First time ever. Here you go, buddy.
Good job. Thank you, brother.
You deserve it. First time ever. You're officially in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
The Poker Hall of Famer, Michael Mizrachi.
Grinder, I'm supposed to tell you something. Are you ready?
Come on, man. Love you, man.
That's what it's all about right there, guys. There's your main event champion, and there's your Hall of Famer.
Thank you. Oh, my God. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it so much.
What I'm supposed to say is, what you've done is phenomenal. This is a fucking battlefield promotion. Winning the main, winning the Players' Championship, and now the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
There it is for your newest member of the Poker Hall of Fame and your 2025 World Series of Poker main event champion, Michael Mizrachi.
Well, that isn't the way induction normally goes down, and yet I suspect not a soul out there in the hall or outside of it would argue, Nick.
Yeah, this one's really hit me hard, Ali. I kind of need I need the Kleenex for this one, brother. Unbelievable.
It's been a privilege and a pleasure to be a part of this particular World Series of Poker main event final table. Our first here in the booth, but hopefully not the last, and it only gets better. On behalf of our entire crew here in Las Vegas and my partner in the booth, Nick Schulman, this is Ali Nejad saying so long from Vegas.